If your nib's too slow and your ink won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to help you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
For me, I think that if you're digitalizing all the letters that you're getting, I think that defeats the purpose of using pen and paper and fountain pen and ink and, you know, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
like Larry said, you want to go back and you might want to see this incredibly neat envelope that somebody sent you a letter in,
Right.
or as we all know, Tony has fantastic writing, and we want to take a look at some pretty stuff. But to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, I agree with you, Lennis, and I think what his point was, when he sends a letter, he takes the digital in case he doesn't make it. He can write it over again or whatever. But yeah, no, I agree with you 100% as well with Larry. What about you, Lisa?
Actually, I'm in the digital camp. I have
Right.
okay, so I scan everything that comes in and goes out. And then I have, you know, like y'all are talking about with having that something to touch or something to hold. I have a scrapbook that I've been keeping with all the stamps and all the envelopes, and, you know, because there's some people that do some magnificent stuff with, you know, art on their envelopes and neat washi tape and all that kind of stuff. And that was the biggest problem I was having, was I was storing letters on top of letters and filling up bins and everything. And finally I was like, I've got to do something, because G was like, look, between you and your letters and your pens, I'm going to kick you out of the house. And so I was like, all right. So I started doing that to where I would scan the letters and I you know, just basically scrapbook all the stuff from
That's
the
smart.
envelopes and stuff.
I've done that same thing just in the last year. I'll take an envelope, and if they've done artwork on the front, I'll cut it at the envelope, save the letter, and I'll put that in the scrapbook. Because it does. There's some of the stuff like the stamps and people will send stickers and other stuff that's really fun to keep in the scrapbook it. But
Right.
I haven't started doing the scrapbook. Maya, looks like Maya's already on that. Look at that.
Well, when I keep all my letters. I started digitizing the ones I had as a child. When my friend, she moved, because her father got a job elsewhere, so they moved house and moved school. And she would write letters to me in her English class usually, because I mean, if you write like you're doing work, doesn't it? And I'd started digitizing those, and I had another friend who went back to Israel, and I was looking through her letters, and I thought, good grief, what were we up to? I mean, there's such a lot of sort of history there anyway. I've forgotten half of it, you know, sort of what we've been getting up to, or teachers that we would complain about, or other things. But I started scanning those in. But I'm just wondering, what format? Do I do PDF, or do I save it as an image? And then recently my hard drive died. I mean, it's backed up. But I mean, it got me thinking, I've still got letters. I still keep the letters. I had another batch of letters, let's see, about 25 years ago.
Wow.
And I found, and I mean, they're in, and I started reading them again and wonder what, but yeah, my mother had a 40+ year correspondence with her brother, especially after he moved to Australia. But she shredded it. She shredded all her letters that she received. So all that history is gone.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do with what we got together, if this continues to go as well as it is right now, I am going to be doing time to time as a giveaway. and of course I'll use Frank for the giveaway. And Frank has some really cool inks that come in that I'm really digging. And is it LeBaron? Is that what the name of it?
Laban.
Laban?
No bond.
Yeah, I really like that ink. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
And
Laban
that,
Greek
or
mythology ink. Yeah.
or use some of the Franklin inks that are made from him. So what I like to be doing, like an incentive, that's just me. I like giving stuff away to people. And I'm not the one that's going to be choosing the name. It's either be Frank or Tony or Mark. I don't want to be involved.
I will not be involved in any of the
No.
drawings. I can't get anything for free.
People have gotten.
Well,
I have banned him. I have banned him from drawings. He's not eligible.
hey,
He gets
one thing I
all the-
will say,
People
I
Once.
can't name anything. I get in trouble. I named a pen that Lisa's husband made for me, and I got in a lot of trouble. I put it on Facebook, and it was a pen that was made for me. Look at this. It's officially at this point called the Tony pen. But I had another name for it because her husband's name is G, and I got in a lot of trouble. So I will not be naming anything anytime soon.
Keep it clean, Tony. Keep it clean.
I had Jim Hines make me this pen. Okay, I'm a big Paladin fan. You ever heard of him? Paladin,
Yeah.
where do you roam? Well, okay.
Yeah.
So we were at Jim's house, and Jim, I want a Paladin pen. I wanted my specifications, not yours. I want this, I want that. So he made it. So it didn't have a name on it. So this one I named Paladin.
All right, good.
And what I'm working on now, and I'm not doing too well, I been working for almost a year, really putting in a lot of work. I want to come out with some fountain pens. I'm looking for somebody to make some fountain pens. I want to leave some type of legacy when I died, people that can remember me. I want to leave something to the fountain pen community because that means a lot for me. So trying to find a pen maker to do this, I could show you, and I think you would like what you see. Got the dimensions, got everything down.
He does. He showed me, shared it with me. He's got everything. I'm impressed. Yeah. I think it's
And
good.
they're down tight, and they're beautiful fountain pens. Just problem, I can't find anybody yet to make them. So I tried, Jim was too busy. I tried Birmingham Pens. They don't have the stuff to do it, they said. So I'm going to check with Fountain Pen Revolution, see if he can do it. But I'm telling you, I'm not bragging. This is the first time I'm going to do it. They look really amazing. But I want the pens sold at an affordable price so people can afford them. I don't want sellers that buy these pens that sell them for $300, $400, $500. I want to get them down to where people can afford pens because, not everybody can afford a pen.
Right. All right. That's a good question. Frank, you're a pen vendor. You sell pens. I've always been curious. I know about margins and such. On the low end pens, the Twisbys, the Lamies, and those kind of pens like that, where there's probably not a lot of margin and such. Do you find yourself, you guys, selling more of those kind of pens than obviously the more high end pens, the ones that range in the two to 500 range?
Actually, yes. Yes, I do. And it depends on person's taste, and the pen's important to them no matter how much you spend, whether it's a $5 preppy or $500 pen, we do sell more of the everyday carry pens, the EDC pens, and I stock a lot of different pens, different price ranges. But I do sell a lot more pens that are under $200 compared to ones that are over $200.
Thank you, Mark.
Seems to be the sweet spot.
Yes. Lannis, you got your answer?
Well,
Frank is actually a Pelican Hub Master for the shows when they have the Pelican Hubs each year. He is the Hub Master.
Although for Philly, yeah, I'm the Philly hub master, but we obviously didn't have one this year, you know. But
So
yeah.
does any of you, do either of you know where I can get an ocean swirl?
Mark, do you have any? Mark, do you have very many pen pals?
Well,
Honestly, no, I don't. I usually do a lot of writing in journals and stuff like that. I have been curious about getting involved with writing letters and maybe doing the wax, sealing.
Oh, yes.
What is that,
I
Mavis?
haven't yet reached that point where I want to do the wax.
Oh. Mavis, what is that?
This is a pen that Kane made for me. Kane Steelwind.
I'm not familiar with him.
He's one of the people on the Facebook group.
Okay.
He made all of us one. And I got to pick out what I wanted, the kind of pen I wanted. I didn't know what I was doing, so I don't know what it is, but this one's mine and this one's Carmen's.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And then Holly has a blue one and Diana has a purple one because they're all our favorite colors.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, this is a high-end pen right here, the Blue Lagoon. But you know what? It's worth every red cent. You're getting your money
I like that.
more.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. This pen will speak for itself. It holds it on. It sells itself. It's that kind of a pen.
Hey, Frank,
Yes.
Lannis wanted to know if you had an ocean swirl.
I'll have to check on that. I'm not 100% sure if I still have any or
I
not.
don't want him on my
Check on that.
head. He's not on your head.
Yeah.
I didn't check the.
I'm just trying to get you a sale there,
Oh,
Frank.
you're good, man.
Now he's on my head. Get him off my head. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony, for the plug, so to speak.
Yeah.
I had a
I'll have to
question.
check. I'll let you know.
Thank you kindly.
Back in the day on letters, I mean, I was trying to write to Korea, but they weren't taking our mail.
Yeah.
They sent it back. So,
Well, the wildest, I've got to share this with you all because I've got one pen pal and he's really, I don't know if you've ever seen him on Instagram or on Fountain Pen Network or something. His name is William Setiadi. That's his name, Setedi. William Setiadi. He's actually he's over in, I think, oh goodness gracious, I can't remember. It's in the India area, but his address is like about 6 or 7 layers deep, and it's like involves around the corner from the church at the post and this and that. And I'm thinking, and he never got my last letter, and I spent a lot of time, and that was one of the reasons why he said, "Did you digitize it so you can at least show me what you sent?" And I had not, other than I took a picture of the envelope in the first page, like I do all my envelopes in first pages, just so I have the addresses.
yeah.
All you
that's
Americans
funny.
need to send your letters to me in Canada so I can ship them off to those countries.
There you go. There you go.
There's,
And that's funny because William contacted me. He hasn't got my last 2 letters,
No.
but I had digital copies of them. I was able to just send him the PDFs, and he was like, instead of you trying again, I'm just going to send you one instead.
And speaking of that guy, his handwriting is like phenomenal. It looks like it was printed from a printer. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Tony?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. We're talking about letters, but I'd like to talk about the letters we put on the letters, and you just mentioned it. And I've been waiting, hoping you guys would talk about handwriting. I've got pretty bad handwriting, and I've fallen in love with writing with fountain pens, and they deserve better than what I am doing.
Mhm.
And I've been looking into Spencerian. I want to learn something.
Yeah.
Spencerian, Palmer, English roundhand, copper plate. What is a good one to learn that's beautiful, that works well with the fountain pen?
Well, I'll just tell you my opinion. I mean, everyone's different. First of all, I got to say that I never judge anyone's handwriting when I get it on a letter. I never have looked at a letter and say, my God, this is sloppy handwriting. I have a good friend, a good pen pal down in Australia. Norm, you might even know him. His name is Nicholas Gold.
Yes, I know him.
Okay,
Yeah,
Nicholas Gold. When I first got his very first letter, it looked like someone had just gotten and just did this. I mean, I stared at it and thought, there's no. But now when I get his letter, there is absolutely no problem with me reading it, and it has its own beauty. And I look at everyone's handwriting as their own unique personality. So Lisa's got beautiful handwriting. Landis has beautiful handwriting. I look at all of those handwritings, and I think to myself, I see something in everyone's handwriting. Now, Dan, to answer your question, about when I was young, I went to Catholic school. I learned cursive handwriting. I remember we wrote with cursive back in the day.
Yep.
As I grew older, I started printing and kind of mixing the two together. I remember going from angling my angle of my writing to the left at one point in my life. No, I don't know why I did that, but just experimenting. Finally, when I got about 4 years ago, I said, I got to improve my handwriting. I wanted to do it because I love to write. So I got a fountain pen and thought, okay, this is going to make my handwriting perfect. It didn't. But what it did was it made me love writing with it so much that it encouraged me to start, wanting to use it more. So I basically got a book called American Cursive Handwriting by Michael Soule.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, American Cursive Handwriting, which is a precursor to me to the Spencerian system.
What? Before Spencerian?
That's before Spencerian, because it just gives you basic letter forms.
Yeah.
And Spencerian is the ability to maybe and maybe to embellish it somewhat. And Spencerian has specific ways of making it flow, and it's more expressive. Spencerian is a more expressive way. Of you that have received my letters before, you'll notice that I always use a dip pen on the envelope because I like to try to do a Spencerian. I practice my Spencerian. In the first paragraph, I'll usually write with a dip pen. Then I switch over to fountain pen for the rest of the letter. Mm-hmm. Just because I like practicing Spencerian.
A little bit about Tony. And, when Tony and I first hooked up, it was like a marriage that banged together. And let me tell you why. Tony is a musician.
Yeah.
I'm a musician. Yeah. And we rocked plenty of gigs, have we not? Yeah. So we connected right there. So that music, I mean, we talked about different gigs, yeah, and we talked about music and instruments, and that was bam. Okay, so we have an interest there. But then we went into fountain pens, yeah, and then how we use music when we're writing letters, I may have some of my favorite jams going on and I'm writing letters. Mm-hmm. So that's how I kind of get that going with my pens. It kind of helps me.
Larry and I are going to go on tour together. We're going to go on the Walker tour. We're going to be we're so old.
Here's what I want to do. Believe it or not, probably never going to happen. Yeah. I'm trying to get a virtual going on because Mr. Announcer plays too.
Oh, look it! We got our fiddle player. Yeah. We got Dan. Dan's going to join in with the fiddle. Look at that.
Yeah, you got a bass player here too.
Okay, good.
Oh, Norm's a bass player. There you go. We got the band right here.
Yeah.
You're the lead singer, Frank. And Mark's going to be the backup dancer.
We both can sing, play drums. I'll play a little guitar. And when I want to rock, man, you're going to have to you're just going to have to feel it, brother, because, I just been out of shape. Hold up, man. You need to put some feel in it, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Dan, I've got a joke for you.
I am an person on drums.
An Australian fiddle joke. Okay, here it comes.
Yeah, Dan, what's the difference between a violin and a fiddle?
Well, you carry a violin in a case, and you can't carry a fiddle in a pillowcase.
The way I heard it was you can spill beer on a fiddle.
What's that, Norm?
That would be straight
You
from
can spill beer
Newfoundland.
on a fiddle.
You can spill beer on the fiddle. I like it. I like it. What was that you're holding up, Maya?
Right, two things. There's a Welsh idiom. To give up means to, in Welsh is to put the fiddle in the attic.
Okay. So I got a question for y'all. What do you think about how's this going today? Would you like to see more of it, and we can add more to this? I'm really digging it. I think it's a lot of fun. You know,
It is.
everybody can express their own.
I would love to have a monthly meetup like this. It would be a lot of fun. You know, it's so lovely to put a face with a. You know, I've been writing. I had no idea, Lannis, how lovely you are. I've never seen you before.
Well, thank
Mavis,
you.
I've never seen Mavis before. It's lovely. Lisa, she's old hat. I've seen her so many times. We've seen each other many times.
Yeah, I've never seen Norm till we started doing this. I asked Norm, what do you look like?
Maya, what is that you're holding up?
Stamps.
These are the last month's new stamps.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Sherlock.
Oh, stamps. Okay, I get the world stamps. They're in the den. They're round and they're called world stamps. They're about $1.50.
Is that Sherlock Holmes's brother? That looks like that's Sherlock Holmes's older brother, isn't it?
You got. I think this is a sister, isn't it? Here.
Aha.
But the problem with this one, I don't know how well you can see, but the bow is wrong.
And like the other stamps I get, you know, I'm one weird dude, but I'm all good. I get dinosaur stamps. I get Bugs Bunny stamps. You know.
I love shopping for stamps. I love going to the post office.
I love nature. I like nature. I'm a real nature freak. Yeah. I'm for save the tree, save the forest, because all I see now is humans tearing down the forest, and these are where animals live. And all this serves a purpose for humanity. They're here for a reason, and pretty soon they're going to be extinct. Like Dolores, your background is dynamite, just totally dynamite. I feel like stealing your trees and bringing them over here. So what do you think about having this once a month or twice a month?
I think we start off with once a month, and if it continues to grow like this, I'm open to. I can do it all the time. I do it every other week. I'd be fine with it.
Y'all have our email address for Tony and myself. Email us and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but then I want you to keep under your hat that I'm working with a guy in the Netherlands, and we're going to try to put that together. Wouldn't that be awesome? That get all of us folks, and then get people from not just the Netherlands, but all over the world just to hang out. Of course, you can be a little like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Frank be complaining, gotta go to work. So, but
what this reminds me of. Larry, what this reminds me of.
I'll buy a few high-end pins. He'll feel fine.
Yeah. What's that, Dan?
I was gonna always say, around, no problem.
This reminds me of what I used to hear about the ham radio operators. They would talk to people all over the world, and this is kind of like that now.
Right.
Look at all the countries already here involved.
Yeah, we've Australia, Canada, and Wales, and United States. I think it's, and then we've even got Georgia. We've even got Georgia. Is that?
Let's take a rundown. Let's take a paper rundown real quick, and we're going to start with Tony. Tell me the paper you use to write letters only, Tony.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we've gone over that, but I will tell you, I have a lot, but I have a lot of different papers, and I mix it up. I don't think I use one paper per letter. I think Lisa will attest to this. I'll use a life paper, Tomaway, all in the same letter. I'll mix up papers, and and one thing I do, I'll pull out 5 or 6 pens, and I'll write a letter with different pens. With each paragraph, I'll use a different pen because I got to share the pens. I've got so many inked up. I got 25 inked up already.
I got,
So I've got to rotate them.
I got 38 inked up.
Well, so that's what I use. I use Life, Tomoe River. I use Crown Mill, which is wonderful paper. It's in England. It's English paper.
You can send me a few sheets, okay, when you write me.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
and that airmail paper made by Life.
Okay.
That is fabulous. It's really, really 26 gram maybe. You can't make it bleed through. You cannot make it bleed through. You can only write it on one side.
Okay. Okay.
I think Frank, you probably carry that, don't you?
Okay. Let's move over to Dan. Dan,
go ahead.
What do you use to write letters with?
I'm embarrassed. I use a computer. I'm learning to write letters.
Ron,
I'm going to write you a letter.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm going to write you a letter. You will be my first pen pal letter, Larry.
Okay, what paper do you use?
It's going to be
Clairefontaine.
Triumphy.
Thank you for that. Okay, so let's try to swing away from that computer. Come on. All right.
Dolores.
Let's talk to Dynamite Dolores. What is it, dear?
I use Rhodia paper. I've got Tomoe River. I've got some Clairefontaine. I actually bought a thing of the airmail, Life airmail. I haven't used it yet, but I can't wait.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
And how about you, James? You have any paper yet?
Well, I had the paper that you gifted me, the Tomoe River and then the Rhodia.
Yeah.
So when I start writing, I'll be using those.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. How about you, Norman?
Well, like a lot of people, I probably have a bit of preference for Life, but I'm basically mean, so I'll use whatever I've got in the bookshelf.
Okay. And you know, real quick before I get to you, Mavis, I've had letters that people write to me on notebook paper. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what they want to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, Mavis, what is your poison?
Whatever I have, because I don't know that much about paper, and so we just do the Amazon thing.
Well, Mavis, why don't you email me? Mavis, why don't you email me, and I think I can help you out.
Yeah. I'll send you some, Mavis. I'll send you some paper.
Some paper, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, you email me now, and I think you're gonna like trip out when I send you some paper.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk with Mark.
Maya. Oh, Mark.
I've got some Polly
Mark's
paper.
on mute.
That's pretty paper too.
Oh, that's nice.
It's from it's a stationery chain in the UK called Paper Chase.
Oh, Frank.
We have that in the Hudson's Bay and Toronto, and I buy a lot of my paper from Paper Chase because I love what they do there.
So jolly, cheerful.
I forgot. Let me say this real quick. I apologize for interrupting Frank. It just hit me. I know what I forgot to put in the box. You know
What's that?
box you got? Yeah, I forgot to put his in there, Mark's. It just hit me.
What's that?
It's the tumbler, Texas. You did get them, didn't you?
No, I missed it. What do you mean?
I sent you and Nadine those tumblers.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got them. They're great. Thank you.
I
Thank you
forgot
very
to
much.
put his in there, so it's sitting here on the table. I'm wondering, well, where did this come from? And it finally hit me. That's Mark's.
Okay.
That was real nice of you.
Mark, yours becoming
Appreciate it
soon.
very
I'm
much.
sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
Mark.
It's no problem.
You know, he's so abused.
So abused.
Okay, so Mark, what paper do you use?
When I write, I usually use Rhodia, Tomoe River, and I also write in stiff flexible.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to Mimi.
Lisa.
Maya. Mimi.
Maya.
I'm sorry.
I've also got this. I've got a couple of books. It's Flow Book for Paper Lovers. There's some writing paper in, but there's also gift tags, postcards, wrapping paper, silly little things to do with
Still.
paper.
Okay.
A Dutch company, and they do a magazine as well, and and that it's quite a nice thing, sort of pictures as well.
Okay, cool.
6.
My idea, speak any
How about
Welsh.
next?
Ennis?
Next.
I'm definitely a Clairefontaine fan. I like the smoothness of it, and I use it quite a bit. I use a little bit of Tomo River, but I don't go out of my way to buy a pad of Tomo River. And then I got some Japanese paper, and I can't even remember the name of it, but it's very fine. But it's nice paper too.
Yeah, a Pink Pal and I, Brian, we split. I think we went in and bought, I think, was it like 10,000 sheets of Tomo River paper? Yeah.
Wow.
Divided is, yeah. So what I've been doing, I've been making my own journals now with them. Saved me a lot of money. And you know, when I put this on my YouTube, showing people how to make it, boy, I got dogged out. This guy like went all over me, went berserk. Larry, what are you doing tearing up paper like that? You know, you're ruining the paper. You know, why don't you just buy it from somebody? It's cheaper. This is a sin. He went on and on and said, dude, peace, love. I don't mean to kill the paper, but I'm just cutting a little piece off. So, yeah, I got really thrown under the bus for that, but I'm still making it. So, okay, Frank, what kind of paper do you use?
You're asking a dealer what kind of paper he likes.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Well, Federalist Pens represents 10 different brands of paper. 3 of them are Tomo River.
Pick one.
Frank personally likes a lot of different things. Frank writes with Clairefontaine and Rhodia a lot. He also likes the Tomoe paper. I use Lugstrom journals, and I also use the Gianni Mazzulli Still Flexibles, as Mark mentioned. And all those brands I carry, among other things. And yeah, even 3 different brands of Tomoe River. The Endless Journals being 68 gram, and the Nebula Notes and the Tomoe River USA being the 52 gram Tomoe paper.
Oh.
And I have pads in the A4 and A5 size. I also have little journals from them as well. They're the actual American Tomoe River USA vendor, and I get them right from them. They've assured me that their supply is still good of the old style paper that everybody likes.
Yeah.
For about another 6 months or so before they switch over to the new type of paper. And I haven't really seen that new paper yet. I've heard a lot of mixed reactions about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. That's why we went and bought in all the old paper. But
okay,
I do like the pad that you get. That was my favorite. Do you?
I know you have it, yeah. And
No,
it's the
don't be
52 gram, the one everybody loves. Yeah.
Don't be surprised if I order one, even though I have 5,000.
Okay, could be good. And the Nebula Notes from Colorverse Ink. They also do 52 gram in this size, the A5. It's also good. Has anybody heard of Munkin paper? It's Swedish paper. It's 120 gram.
I've heard of it.
I talked about it a couple times. Yeah, it's actually very thick. It's 120 gram, and it's pretty ink friendly. I've just started carrying that this year, and like I joked about, it does pretty well. It didn't pass the Sharpie test, the regular thick Sharpie.
Right.
But otherwise, with regular ink, it's done quite well.
Yeah.
But it's in a brand called
Nuna. When I've done reviews on paper, Sharpie is a pretty deadly weapon because it goes through a lot of good paper.
But I usually do like trying the Sharpie on things just to see. And this is a German brand called Nuna, N-U-U-N-A, and they use that Munkin Swedish paper. And I offer them in leather and non-leather covers, A4, A5, A6. So yeah.
Lisa, ta-da! What is it?
For me, it's Tomoe River mostly, at least when I want something really smooth. And the Kokio Campus, I use them a lot. They have business paper and the campus paper, which is like lined notebook paper with like 80 gazillion holes in it. But those are ones that I like for when I want a little texture or a little tooth when I'm writing.
Okay. before I go, believe it or not, I want to do something special for everybody that's here. If you take the time, all except for Frank, to email me, and I'm going to send you some paper. I don't know what kind, but I want to send you some of my paper I like. I would send it to my dear friend Frank, but he put his nose up on it. So anyway, easy, Frank. And last but not least, there's only one way to put it out. All of us that are on here, you know, Frank's a dealer, right? And his livelihood depends on us to buy. I know we all have our favorite fountain pen buyers, but you know, Frank is really just an amazing guy, really amazing guy. He goes the extra 1,000 miles to try to help you. And customer service is beyond. He's there when you need him. He'll help you with your problems. He's an upstanding guy, just a real down-to-earth dude. So, you know, my vote has to go with Frank. And I'm going to support Frank to the day I die.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Frank, I gotta back him up on that. I know I haven't done a lot of business with you. I've teased you a lot, but I'm gonna order that endless notebook. I'm ordering one right after we get off.
Order two. Now, Tony, you ordered two. Two.
Oh, two. Okay. Yeah, I'm ordering two because Larry's paying, so I'm gonna order two.
There you go.
Actually, I wanted to say that you know that the truth is, the one thing about this hobby that we're in here is that the pen pals that I've met through correspondence, and the people that I've met in person, like Frank and Mark, we got a chance to go out to dine. We got to eat together, and they got to ride in a car that I was driving in St. Louis, and they trusted me with their lives. And it was a chauffeur service. It was like an Uber, Tony's Uber. We went old school, but we had a good time, and it was a blast.
Great. The food was delicious.
It was very good food.
It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, Mark, who paid for the food?
I didn't.
So yeah.
Frank and Mark, what I really want to know is, how much did you pay Larry to plug you?
Didn't take a whole lot.
No.
A little pin there, a little pin. It doesn't matter, you know.
If you're not been to a pen show,
as long as they're 800 and above, that's all.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Larry, care to share the code, checkout code?
Do what?
You care to share the checkout code on my site? Larry, if you put in the code Larry at checkout, it's an extra 10% off.
Oh, wow.
Remember, everybody, Larry, the code.
Thank you, Frank, for checking for that.
In one of my videos and hold you to it.
Sure.
Note of it. Larry, 10% discount. About time. Yes. So I want everybody to bond together and focus on Frank. For real.
There you go.
No, I'm not trying to push Frank or make Frank all that. It's just something about Frank. You know, when Frank and I finally connected, it
checks in the mail.
It was good.
hey, but I hope did you put the discount code on the check so he gets 10% less?
Yeah, who I feel sorry for is poor Mark. Mark goes through heck, you know, big brother this, big brother that. And when Frank gets mad, it's like, you know, I told you I carry this, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I forgot.
Can I just say that before?
Wait, Tony, it gets like this. If I don't ask Frank and I get the pen from somebody else, Frank will say, well, why didn't you ask me? I carry that pen. Well, when I try to do, you don't me.
No.
Okay, the code
before I jump off.
Hold on. You put it on
before the fall ends. I definitely wanted to.
Did you hear Mr. Announcer?
What did he say?
Mr. Announcer.
The discount code is listed on our video channel, Larry's Fountain Pens.
Okay.
Oh, and